Alright guys, so today I wanted to do a cigar collection update now that I've pretty much wrapped up with the filming of my Humidor tours. I made a lot of recent additions and I didn't want to do a fifth part to my Humidor tour collection since I already committed to 4, and I figured this was a good series to start as I continue to grow my collection and find new cigars. So let's jump right into it. I got a lot of cigars to go through today. Starting off, I have a couple of 5-packs. Some of them are a few cigars short. I've already tapped into a few of these. This one right here is the Leaf by Oscar 10th Anniversary Criollo. This is a little bit more of a premium offering by Oscar. Their regular Leaf line is incredible, so naturally I was going to go and try their more premium offering, and this did not disappoint. I smoked it in the lounge a couple weeks ago when it was cold out. Really enjoyed that. Right here is a 10-pack, or now it's a 9-pack, of Oliva Serie V, but this is called the Diademas. So this is not a new blend by any means, but I had never seen this Vitola of this cigar. So it's like a Corona Extra, but in the Diademas shape, and I thought it was really cool. And I had one of these, and it might be my new favorite Oliva Serie V Vitola. Yeah, it was incredible. So I really enjoyed that one. Right here, these are some Dumbarton Sobre Mesa in Cervantes. So this is a Lonsdale size. Supposedly these have been discontinued. I didn't know that when I purchased these, so now that I do know that, I think I'm going to keep an eye out for more of these. I'd had this in the past and it was really good. I don't have a ton of experience with Dumbarton, but I'm starting to get into them a little bit more, but this is a really cool cigar. And this is definitely a cigar that I've featured on this channel before, but this is the Zeno Platinum Scepter. I have a bunch of these already, but found them again for a good price, so I picked them up under, a few bucks a cigar, which is incredible for what you get and the value that these bring. So if you guys can find these, would definitely recommend giving them a try. Great size too. Those are Robusto Extra. Another 5-pack here. This is the Cuba Aliados in Churchill. This is a Honduran Puro, so I've really been getting into Honduran tobacco more. Sorry if you can hear my cat scratching. He decided to wake up. But been getting into Honduran tobacco more. It has like this nice earthy quality to it. I think it's kind of Cuban-esque, so trying to find some more blends that have Honduran tobacco in them. This is a Puro. I have not had this cigar. I have one of them out dry boxing, so looking forward to giving this a try soon, and I've heard good things about this, so should be good. Up next, got a bunch of singles in here, so we'll kind of go through these one by one. Right off the top, this is a called Arms Sumatra from Stolen Throne Cigars, a boutique brand based out of Virginia, where I'm from. I haven't had this cigar, but Stolen Thrones makes some amazing stuff. I've had all of their other blends, minus this one, and I have not been disappointed by any of them. I'm sure this one is going to be fantastic as well. So if you can find these in your B&M or online, definitely give these a try. The construction's on point. The flavors are fantastic. Next up, I have 2 My Father the Judge. This is the Grand Robusto 5x60. So this is the cigar that just won Cigar Aficionado's #1 cigar of 2024. It's my tradition to go to a B&M the day it gets announced and pick up the cigar of the year if they have it. So I went to my local B&M and they had it, and I picked up a couple. I'll probably smoke one of these, in the next couple weeks, next couple months, and then I'll probably age the other one for a little while, just, see what happens. Another cigar I just picked up, the La Aroma de Cuba Mi Amor. This is a fantastic cigar. This is in Bellocoso. This was the #2 cigar last year, the year before, or it was top 5, over 95 points. This is an incredible cigar. This is not a new discovery by any means. I'm sure a lot of you guys have had this, but I love it. Hopefully at some point I'll pick up a box of these, but just a single for now. This is another cigar that's new to me. This is the Aladino Corojo Reserva. So I mentioned that I'm trying to get more into Honduran tobacco. This is a Honduran Puro, and I think this might be a Honduran Corojo Puro. So a little bit of a history lesson, I guess. And I was unaware of this until recently, but the original wrapper that was used on Cuban cigars was a Corojo wrapper. And I believe the family that owns Aladino has the original Cuban seed for the Corojo leaf, and they grow it in Honduras. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that that's the case. So I'm hoping that this is very reminiscent of some Cuban cigars or maybe some old school Cuban cigars, and I'm looking forward to giving this one a try. Next up, we have the Ashton VSG in Bellicoso. You can see that there, Bellicoso number 1. I've had the VSG and it's a fantastic cigar. Ashton makes great cigars. You can't go wrong with anything from Ashton. Then we have 2 Iroa Jamastran. So I believe, these are Honduran Puros as well. I believe these are Corojo, but from Jamastran, I think is what it is. And I'm probably saying that wrong, but these are pretty cool cigars. You can't really tell with the little paper on there. I don't really want to take it off. So you can barely tell, but it's wider towards the middle and skinnier towards both ends. Sort of like a football. Interesting shape, not one that I've seen before. Not sure what it's called either, but Half Wheel said this was a fantastic cigar and I found it on sale, so I picked a couple up and I'm looking forward to giving those a try. Then we have 2 of these Bandolero Serie T cigars. What interested me about these cigars is that these are made by the same guy that makes the Atabey and the Byron and the Alfonso cigars, and this is the more affordable line. So they're still not cheap, they're just not as expensive as those other cigars, and I'm really looking forward to giving these a try. I'm not sure what tobacco is used in here, but I just did a little bit of research before picking them up, and people seem to really like these. Again, I think potentially Cuban-esque, we'll see. I'll let you know how that goes. Have another Bandolero cigar here. This is the Serie C. Don't ask me the difference between this and the Serie T. And there's also a Serie A. And I haven't looked up the difference. So if somebody knows, please let me know in the comments. I am curious. Another great looking cigar. This is the Aroa Dark, Corojo Dark. So this is, I guess, from a higher priming of their standard line. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's supposed to be incredible. We have another Aroa. This one is their standard line. This is the Toro. It says right there, Aroa Classic 6x54. Looks awesome. Corojo, I believe. Honduran Puro. I think all of these Aroa and Aladinos are Honduran Puros. And speaking of Aladino, we have their classic Corojo wrapper right here. So this is from, I guess, a lower priming than the Reserva, and it should be a little bit more medium body, but apparently that's a fantastic cigar. And this one I'm surprised I got since it's consistently sold out, but this is the Pitoro Terre Blanche in Robusto size. Cigar Hound Dog did a review of this in the Toro size, and I believe it was an unparalleled cigar. So I saw it in stock, and I decided to pick it up. I'm looking forward to giving this one a try. And last in this bag, we have another Bandolero Serie T, this time in a pyramid shape, a little bit larger, a little bit longer. So looking forward to that. And 2 other pretty cool cigars I picked up recently are these Muestra de Saca Exclusivos. They come in this really cool coffin. This is a 6x52. I'm not sure what tobacco is used in this either, but I know that there is a bunch of different tobaccos used. I actually smoked this one, but I liked the coffin it came in, so I'm keeping it. But this is a really nice looking cigar. Pretty plain, just a footband that comes off as soon as you smoke it. Obviously, I guess you could slide it the opposite direction, but this was a nice full-bodied cigar. Hoping to pick more of those up. And looking to try some of the other sizes in this line, since apparently they all have a different blend and they all offer something a little bit different. So let me know if there's another one that I should try. The Exclusivo is great. I know that there's like 7 or 8 more. And just a handful of other singles before we get into some pretty exciting stuff that I think you guys will like to see. Just threw these in an old cigar box, but Right here, we have the LFD Reserva Especial. I think this is their Figurado. This is supposed to be pretty good. I've never had this particular blend from LFD, and I know their normal stuff is really full-bodied. So I think this should be a little bit lighter. At least I would expect it to be based on the wrapper. Although, you know, that isn't always necessarily the case, but excited to give this one a try. Also, this is a new line from AJ Fernandez, a new addition to the Dia Gloria. This is the Brazil. So I don't know if it's just a Brazilian wrapper. This is the Toro 6.5 by 54. Should be a nice full-bodied smoke, and again, have heard really good things about this. This one is pretty cool. This is the Tatuaje La Riqueza. And so this was a regular production cigar that they had a few years back, and then they discontinued it temporarily, and I think now they're bringing it back as a limited edition. So I saw this available and I picked it up. This is another cigar from Stolen Throne. This is called the Yorktown Fleet, another Sumatra wrapper, an incredible cigar. I mean, definitely give this one a go. I'm telling you, all of their stuff is great. This cigar might be challenging for you guys to find. This is the La Ferrona Lonsdale, and this is from a cigar factory in Ybor City, Tampa. So I was just there visiting some family, and I went to go do a tour of a cigar factory in Ybor City, and then went downtown afterwards to hit some shops, and I picked this up. So I'm not really sure if it's any good. I don't know anything about it, but a nice little souvenir from my trip. We have here a Lord Baltimore Maduro. The story about these cigars is that they are, I believe, rolled by Plasencia, or this is Plasencia tobacco, and these are made exclusively for Davidoff cigars. So this is a 5 by 52. Apparently these are really solid. I had the non-Maduro, and it was actually really good. A little bit of funky flavor that wasn't my favorite, but the construction was flawless. So I am looking forward to giving this a try. This is the Ashton 898, a classic cigar. One that I've never actually had. I have had an Ashton Classic, but just not in this size. So another Lonsdale, looking good. This is the Kyle Gellis. So if you're familiar with Warped Cigars, this is another line of his. Don't know much about this, but I'm really into Warped Cigars recently, and just figured I'd give this a try. I saw it. And then lastly, this was gifted to me recently. This is the Weller by Cohiba. So I believe that this tobacco is aged in former Weller bourbon barrels. I've heard a lot of mixed things. I think that this is kind of gimmicky, but I mean, A+ for presentation. It looks really cool. It comes in this really nice tubo, and the cigar itself has this really nice dark wrapper. So I'm going to hold back any judgment until I actually try the cigar myself. Alright, so now I'm going to show you guys some of the boxes that I've purchased recently, and then I'll wrap up the video with a couple more singles that are pretty special and more limited and rare and hard to find. Also, before I move on to the boxes, if you guys are enjoying this video, please like the video, and if you feel compelled, subscribe to the channel. It really motivates me to keep making these videos, and I greatly appreciate it. Also, let me know in the comments what you guys are smoking recently and what pickups you've made. I'm always looking for suggestions, so let me know down in the comments what you guys think I should be trying next. So moving right along, the first box we're going to look at is this Plasencia Robusto collection. I guess this is a holiday release that they do, but essentially contains 6 cigars in their core lineup, and I think it's a pretty cool thing that they do to introduce you to some of the brands that they have. So you have here their original line. You have the Alma del Campo, Alma Fuego, their Cocheza series. This is the 151, and then both Alma Fuertes in Natural and Maduro or Oscuro. But I think this is a really cool sampler. It wasn't too expensive. Some of these cigars, MSRP is pretty high, so this is definitely a nice way to save some money and try some Plasencia cigars. Next up, we got a pretty cool box here. This is the God of Fire Don Carlos in Robusto. This is a 5.5 by 50. Open it up. So this was a blind box buy. I've never had this cigar before, but again on sale, so I picked it up. And after purchasing this, I smoked the God of Fire by Carlito, and it was phenomenal. So I have high expectations for this cigar. Really nice cigar here. The band work on there is really nice. And for those of you that don't know, the God of Fire series, this is a collaboration with Prometheus. They make cigar accessories, and with Arturo Fuente. I think Arturo Fuente produces these cigars with some of their best tobacco. Definitely keep an eye out for those if you can find them at your B&M or online. They're fantastic. Next up, I have the Oliva Serie V Milanio 2023 special release. So I was unaware of this, but I guess they do one of these every year. So this is the one for 2023. I know that they've already released the one for 2024, but this is a 5.5 by 54 Figurado. Really cool shape. You should be able to find these online well under MSRP, and these look awesome. It's your standard Milanio blend, obviously not in the box pressed shape. So supposedly these are quite good. Looking forward to trying these. If you do pick up a box of these, they come with a styrofoam insert that's on top of these cigars. I would suggest removing those just so you don't get any weird flavors from that are on the cigar. So just take that out and then you're good to go. Next box, another blind box buy. This is the Isla de Cocodrilo by Warped. Box of 15 of these. These are the Toros. These were super hyped up online amongst some of the reviewers, so I was a little hesitant to pick one of these up. I've seen some mixed reviews, at least in terms of construction, but I think as long as you let these dry out just a little bit, they should be fantastic. And a lot of people are putting this as their number one, or at least in their top cigar of the year conversation. So really cool band. No experience with this, but my previous experience with Warped has been pretty good across the board. So high expectations for this as well. And one more box, possibly the coolest box that I picked up. This is the Arturo Fuente Don Carlos Edition de Aniversario. So this box is a box of 8 tubos, and a lot of people, they have like their Grail cigars that they want to add to their collection, Opus X's, Andalusian Bulls. I would say for me, this was one of my Grail cigars that I wanted a box of. So these cigars are supposed to use some of Arturo Fuente's best tobaccos. So it is an expensive cigar, but supposedly it's well worth it. And the presentation is awesome. I actually would have preferred to get the box of 10, not in the tubos. I don't love tubos. They do look cool, but just from my experience, they can just introduce problems with over humidifying and creating mold on the cigars. So these came in these tubos obviously, but there was a cedar sleeve inside here that I've already removed from these cigars, but we'll pop one out. I mean, they look incredible. Got some more singles to take a look at. These are some hard to find, rare singles. So starting off, I found some Andalusian Bulls at a B&M near me. So it was a whole box, or 8 left in the box, and there was no limit, and they were all at MSRP. And I was contemplating buying 8, but I felt a little guilty, and I left them there for somebody else. So I picked up 3, and I actually went back the next day to try to buy the rest of them, and somebody else already had the idea. So it's only 3 of these. I'm going to continue to search for more, since I do really enjoy this cigar. I don't think that it's overhyped. I think it's very good. So 3 Bulls. And then we got a bag of additional goodies. So starting off, we have a bunch of Fuente Añejos. So I think this is the number 55. So this is like a larger Bellicoso. I haven't had this one, but looked pretty cool. So I picked that up. I think I have a few of those. Let's see, 1, 2, I think there's another one in here. No, I can't find it. We'll just move on. Next up, just, something that most people can find pretty easily, but this is the Fuente Don Carlos Bellicoso, a cigar that I really enjoy. I just haven't had this particular Vitola, and been on a Bellicoso kick recently, as you can see. So looking forward to giving this one a try. Next up, we have a bunch of Casa Fuente. a personal favorite of mine. I love this Cameroon wrapper on this cigar. It smokes fantastically, but super happy to have found more of these. And I got some of the Bellicosos right here, and I also picked up some of the Churchill sizes. Casa Fuente Churchill. We got 1 Churchill, 2 Churchill, 3 Churchills, 4 Churchill sized Casa Fuentes, and you got the 1 Bellicoso, got another Bellicoso, got a 3rd Bellicoso here. Then we have this tiny little rare pink from Fuente, the short story. I think these cigars are okay. I mostly just bought this because it's a limited Fuente release, and I don't think that this cigar is particularly special, but it is cool, and I think it benefits a good cause. So have some more añejos. Oh, here's the other Bellicoso. Then we have some of the 888s. I really like this Vitola, a really unique Bellicoso tipped Lonsdale. So I really only see this with Fuente, and I really enjoy it. I think if you've seen it in one of my previous collection videos, I have the Opus X 888. So really cool cigar. I have 5 of those, I think, or 4, 2, 3, yep, 4 of these. And I just smoked one of those with a little over a year of age on it, and it was incredible. So if you have the añejos, definitely try them with a little bit of age. It mellows them out and rounds them out a bit. Then we have some more añejo. This is the number 48. So this is like they're double chateau sized, I think. I have a few of these. Got 1, 2, I think just 2 of those. Then I just found these, and I've never had these before, but supposedly the Añejo Shark number 77 is the best Vitola of the Añejo. And you really only see these shark shapes by Fuente, so they have them in the Añejo, they have them in the Opus X, the Don Carlos, and then they do make a Julius Caesar for J.C. Newman. Really excited to try some of these. I'll probably wait just to get some age on them, but I picked up 5 of those. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then these cigars are pretty unique. This is the Leroy Neiman cigar for J.C. Newman. So these are a limited release that they do, and it benefits charity. I picked these up in Florida when I went to visit the J.C. Newman factory. This is, I believe, the 2024 edition of this project. So that's a Churchill sized. And then I also picked up the 2023 Toro. So I got 1 of each. And then a cigar that I haven't had before, but it's not necessarily new. I just haven't found it at a local B&M, but this is the Angel Cuesta. This is the Toro 6x52 by J.C. Newman. And then last cigar here, I was not expecting to find this, but I found this Destino al Siglo Shark. Found this locally at MSRP, and I picked it up. So this concludes my collection update. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more.